And so the plan was for her to come home, and life was going really well in that direction. And I was in Kenya at the time that started cooking.
Oh, we're coming to that.
Next
Hence the kitchen.
Yes,
Hence the kitchen.
Yes, there you go.
But I'm not sure. I haven't seen any ingredients lying around here, but yeah, let's put it.
No one has to know where it came from. You can say I cooked it. You can say I cooked it. Yeah, then so the cooking thing, which is chapter, you did that YouTube, that YouTube thing, and then like fast forward to. So this is now where we started. Yeah. So then I went into cooking afterwards, which was kind of with rugby my next great passion. For no particular reason. Like I wish I had a better story for it. I wish I would one day I was in the restaurant and ate this thing. No. Well, it's a nicer story. Nice-ish. I was very lucky growing up. I had a very interesting childhood because my dad was obviously mixed heritage. My mom was Ugandan, so it wasn't a very typical upbringing. My mother was particularly westernized. She was raised in America, and yeah, just not very traditional in very many ways.
Okay.
So I didn't have a very typically traditional childhood, which also tied to the whole wine thing. But my parents were very encouraging for me to find a voice and speak it.
Okay.
And be myself, and they were very nice around that. I think they didn't have the guardrails are quite broad.
No, okay. Are you the first one?
No, I'm actually
okay.
not. No, I have a sister.
Okay.
And so because of that, it gave me a lot of freedom, which was really great. It gave me a lot of confidence. Confidence is a very important currency, I think, in just as a person. And they exposed me to a lot of things. So eating out and dining was something we started doing really well, something we always looked forward to. We'd eat out fairly often. I have very many memories growing up doing that and being old enough to finally order off the menu myself. Oh,
nice.
That was a thing, and like every other Sunday or something like that, we'd go out for dinner. And I used to really look forward to it. Like, not in hindsight, not that the food at home was very bad, actually. In hindsight, it was actually really good. But it was nice to do something different, and we'd get dressed up and we'd go out for dinner and we'd have like favorite restaurants and
the joy of a routine.
Yeah, it wasn't quite routine. I'm sure it was. It wasn't like every second Sunday we go, but definitely mom and dad made the effort to do it.
Okay.
And that was cool, right? Because then you were exposed to culture, to the dining culture, fine dining, or not just eating out and understanding it. It's not eating ugali and tukuma with your hand every day. There was this decorum around it, and my mom was very particular about things like that.
Wow.
You dress up, wear a shirt, and that was nice. So I definitely had an appreciation of food.
Okay.
Then both my mom and dad cooked.
Okay.
And they were very good, and culturally, because of just their very diverse backgrounds, they'd cook what would be a little bit unusual for your typical Kenyan home, but very interesting stuff. And they're very into it. And like that particularly was quite like, help out, And my dad's partially Indian, a lot of his heritage is Indian. I grew up eating a lot of Indian food and being immersed somewhat in that culture. So we make like our own danajiras.
What are those?
Danajiras. It's spice mixes.
Okay.
And make your own garam masalas.
Okay.
And it was the thing, like, so remember this is also still the 90s. So that had this big mortar and pestle, for lack of No, it was one of pounding.
Okay.
And that was, I remember I must have been this high, and it was about my height. And he'd buy these spices and we had to pound them. Because that's what he grew up
doing. Like freestanding, not like tabletop.
No.
Freestanding.
And he'd get the spices and we'd pound them and he'd make like these achar, chilies and pickles, and like there was always that in the fridge, and that was really encouraging. But it was actually just terribly, but you make it, and so we would, and we'd pound, grind the chilies and those old, obviously before blenders and stuff, and so there was
you were having CrossFit exercise at home. There was the sports facilities you spoke about, but then there was this extra.
So that was cool. So that got me into that culture really early.
Nice.
And then it's really good. So Sunday breakfast was always now that was tradition. And we used to do the Sunday breakfast, big fry up, bacon, eggs, sausages, and then it'd be the beginning of the week. Then we go to church afterwards.
Wow.
And I learned quite quickly. I didn't want to go to church, and I volunteered to make breakfast and stretched out the breakfast making process. It would be too late to go to church. And then the evening service was discovered, and then it started. So yeah, so cooking was something
you do, okay.
and I enjoyed it. And I enjoy it. I think you enjoy the amount of satisfaction of, I suppose, it's the primal satisfaction of making food, but just the creativity and that around it. So I knew from a fairly young age that I wanted to be a chef. And right out, I mean, the only reason the IB was done was to clear out me, not because I had an eye on joining an Ivy League university or anything like that. Like academia was never, not academia as such, but like formal varsity was never something I wanted to do. And so I went to cooking school 3 years.
Nice.
Then
where did you go?
Top Chefs.
Oh, Top Chefs.
It's
that old? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a newish school. No. It's been there since the dark ages.
Bit my tongue there. Middle ages. It was very cool. It was a very cool experience, and that was a good school. Like now, again, all the benefit of hindsight. What I don't know. I've lost touch now, but what they tried to create there was first class as far as someone who was passionate and interested in it, because they teach you. Like with all the 3 years, 1.5 years was actually spent working in the industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was very practical, and it was focusing on culinary arts only, or what they call it?
Well,
food production.
Food production, kind of, I'd say. Slightly different in that it was all around food, but they taught you menu costing.
Wow, okay.
History of food.
History of food and the like. Okay.
Stuff like that. And then but the industry stuff was the better part, because you're a proper sprout. You were like bottom of the food chain, and that was it. You were the labor. You were the guy who had to peel the potatoes, and it was completely what you made of it. Right?
Okay.
So and it was a flipping. It was baptism of fire. I remember the first thing I ever did. I started a bakery, the first 1 year pastry bakery thing, and then the 2 year food thing. And my first work experience. I finished Saints the year before.
Okay.
That's now out of school, basking in the glory of a great year of rugby, first year of club rugby. Now I'm living the dream of being a chef. Okay, cool. Getting my head around being in whatever contextually. Top Chefs then was on a floor of a building.
Okay.
In Weston, opposite Q's.
Okay. No, but then prime location.
Yeah. I discovered a school that was like acres wide. My friends are going to universities all over the world.
Okay, that context. Okay, got you.
It was a massive adjustment, but I'm like, cool, you're on your track, doing your own thing. I didn't speak a lot of funny. I wasn't very good with my Swahili then. Like Swahili was a learned language.
Okay.
So it was a massive adjustment. And it was a very coming of age thing. It was important to have done it. Okay. I look back very fondly on that time of my life. That it was really great for me. It adjusted me quite well.
Okay.
And it's important, and it was a very important thing. You can live in a bubble for a very long time.
Yeah. But anyway, typically, I'm thinking of all the schools in Nairobi that do culinary. They are not in expansive facilities.
No.
Maybe Utalii College perhaps is the most endured in terms of facilities. I mean, I guess as an institution. But even Boma, which is one of the leading ones right now, it's within a hotel space.
Yeah.
So it's not quite facilities and the like. Yeah.
Sort of sidebar conversation, but like really, I wish I could have been there.
Okay.
In like the 80s and 90s. It was so my business partner is a product of from a bit further back. And my goodness, like it was so well thought out.
Wow.
It was so well thought out, so well laid out. It was a proper culinary. It was a hotel school. Like you have a
Cotton Blue.
Yeah. But no, like the hospitals. You have the student hospitals.
Like a learning hospital, university.
Like university hospital. Yes. So
what's the one here in Cape Town?
Fruitskeur.
Okay. Fruitskeur. Okay. Got you.
So Italy was like that. Like it was a full-on practicing hotel, 4-star hotel.
Yes.
But you had all the students learning and working in the same space. It was brilliant, man. Like I mean, it's still going, and I hope it's revived. And I mean, I hope anyone doesn't revive, but like it would be.
It needs to get back to the form where it was. It has had its challenges.
Nothing like it in Africa. It's such a sadly Kenyan story, but like, wow, man, it was quite something. It really was. And the guy who started Top Chefs used to be one of the
was in Italy.
top guys in Italy. Felix. So scary.
Awesome.
So then the Top Chef thing was an adjustment. Like an adjustment. But then now, this is the one. So the crowning glory of it all, I ended up with my first ever stint work experience.
Okay.
And your first stint, before anything else, you had to learn how to make bread. Okay. Bread was your first. It's the basics. Like you build everything from there. You learn how to make cake and fancy stuff. You've got to understand like the bread making. And bread it's quite an art. Like I mean, you can see like the specialty bakeries and stuff, and how much of a world that is now, and uneven breads and sourdoughs and all the things that people are doing at the moment. So yeah, this is so you do this bread thing, and you end up going to Ends Valley Bakery. And he's like, isn't that okay? Yes, it's still in operation. Well, let me just say, we know Ends Valley Bakery. Ends Valley Bakery at the time was doing all the bread for the airport, for the airlines. Oh. That's nice. And then they had their own outlets, and they were supplying the high-end. Sorry, fun fact, my sister's a chef, trained chef from Italy. No way. And she did, you know that about it? Yes, and then she did work at NAS. Before she got into what is this thing called? HACCP is the certification of hygiene. Hygiene and yeah. So we have that in common. I haven't been, but she was. So it's full of the fun facts today. I know, Ends Valley. So now, hey man, Ends Valley was a factory off Mombasa Road. Okay. In what's that area called now? I can't remember now. Oh, it's off Mombasa Road. Industrial area. Not Embakasi, but just after. Well, just before. Anyway. And so I rock up to a factory. And again, like I think it's very important contextually just to remember where I have come from at this moment and the illusions of grandeur in my head. And I shoved into the changing room at the bottom of the factory, and then like, here are the students, settle them, then the things, wait for your briefing. The guy comes like, okay, cool, who's this guy? You, Jinangumu. Go back home, come back at 6. Okay. Seriously? Yeah. So I'm like, super, let's go. Scored a bonus day off. We went home, watch TV, had fun. I rocked out. My dad dropped me off. Still staying at home. So my dad dropped me off. And it was night shift at the factory, like proper, blue collar, killer kitu. It was. And I mean, it was wild. It was absolutely. So was it highly mechanized? Stepping on the door? I don't think. Paint a picture. No, it was fairly high. So it wasn't like or something like that. It wasn't just like a lot of the bread had to be still done. A lot of the processes were done by hand. Okay. But I mean, it was just the whole experience of working literally on a bread line, because what you would do, because literally the big dough would come out of the dough mixer, like 40 kilos, and you're gonna make like 400 loaves from it by hand. And everyone now would practice the skill of rolling the dough and putting it into the tin. Oh, bread tin. Yeah. Wow. And there'd be like 10 of us, 5 on each side, and be there. And you work it by hand, you finish the bread, it goes to be baked, you do the next thing, and the production, as long as you get yes. That was a process, man. That was the process. It was a hell of a thing. Wow. Yeah. I'd like to experience that, like to view the process, not to be the one actually do that. Oh man, it was wild. But that was the start of it. Wow. So then I think then there was the big adjustment. And you didn't drop out. Oh man, of course I wanted to. And my dad, and this was cool. So I remember clearly remember the conversation with dad. I think this thing is for me. It's like, it's not like that. Life doesn't work that way. Yeah. No. You do not like it. Stop. So see it through. And if we finish, then we make another plan. Let's see it through. And so I did it. And that's cool. And then you change, and then I grew up, I think. Basically. Then I grew up, and was cool, man. And then like, I had to take matatu. I didn't take many until that point. I was taking a matatu all the way. 3 changes. What's that?
Whoa.
I don't know, when you say like you take a matatu from like the school to a sea or to town or whatever. It wasn't
in back.
Yeah. But like now you're literally walking from railways to Odeon and then from Odeon to and that was life, and that's the life of many Kenyans. So again, like I said,
and you can imagine now how crazy it is now. Those days are still very organized.
I mean,
things operate on schedule.
It looks even more organized right now.
Yeah, traffic was hectic.
Yeah, man, but that was it. Like I said, you can live in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
That can be your life. You can live in suburban Nairobi and get a great job and that's it. But that sort of 5 year spell was great for me.
Okay, so other than the bakery, what other notable brands did you work for? If at all.
That's all. I did a stint in the Serena, Nairobi Serena.
Oh, cool. I mean, that was like the bastion of excellence.
That's cool. It was good back then. But then it's good to understand the inner workings of these things. So again, so many times in the wine industry, you only see the end product and you think this must be something.
But the BTS.
Well, not everybody's story actually of time I would say that. But then the time in Mombasa.
Which
was incredible.
I mean, you're like.
No, it's just
we were recently at the time in Mombasa for the wines of South Africa.
Oh, is that where they did it?
Cup Classic, on that.
That's nice.
World famous balcony with the Dow. Somewhere at the bottom of the cliff,
I actually lived there.
And
I lived there while I was.
They had been around for 40 years now, I remember. Celebrated their 40-something anniversary the other day.
It's an incredible institution, and I think it's something, as far as the hospitality institution goes, something that Kenyans should be proud of.
Sure.
It is excellent. It's globally excellent. But that was a great experience.
Wow.
The first time now I lived alone and away from home.
And in Mombasa.
The chance that we had. And I was still very ugly.
I'm still trying to get my Mombasa thing going all this time.
Keep working it. I had fun, and then I played a bit of rugby still. I played for Mombasa Sports Club.
Oh, really? Okay.
Short stint there. Man, it was fun.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. That was cool. That's why I learned to speak Swahili.
Finally.
Properly. Because everyone is Mombasa.
Everyone's Swahili.
And not that people are unaccommodating, they're very accommodating, but you have to try.
And then because you look like you're a Mombasa local.
I did, right?
I'm sure they're like, what do you mean?
Similar problems I have here, actually. But
really?
Harder to overcome. Because I don't speak Afrikaans.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So all this is going on.
Yeah.
There's still a plan to come to Cape Town?
No.
When did that come about?
People were still in varsity then. So that was not how it was varsity and varsity. Well, let's bring that.
Okay.
And then I finished, right? Then this is a very interesting twist of fate here because my mom's family still lived in America.
Okay.
And I got a great opportunity to do a stage in San Francisco.
A what?
Stage, like unpaid apprenticeship.
Okay. Stage. I'm learning. I should have had a notebook here for all the new vocabulary for the dictionary later.
That's probably why I didn't get the visa because I wanted to stage. Kenyans are like, I didn't. And so then the plan when I finished the Top Chef was to go to America. And I got the opportunity. And so then I got my papers and I was supposed to go now for the US, I'm sure you know, the US Embassy interview. It's back in Gigiri now, right? The embassy. See, the time it was in Mombasa.
But the time it was in town.
Was it town? Yeah. Back then,
right next to the railway, then there was the bombing.
Oh, yeah, no, that was.
And then it went to Mombasa Road. Or it went to Gigiri, first then Mombasa Road, then now back to Gigiri. Okay, cool. I even missed that. Okay.
So the first time I was in Gigiri, that's where I went.
Okay.
Went to apply.
And you had to queue.
The
queue was wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Humble way. It was terrible, huh? Anyway. And And then they just really needed the way they rejected us. Anyway, it was the hell of it's an experience I still remember. And they were kind they told you have to be there at 8. I just showed up at 8 to 1.
No.
X. Come back again. And pay again.
And being there at 8 means you're in the queue.
Yeah. And luckily someone told me that. Timekeeping is not my strongest.
Yeah. It's not your strongest. Okay, good to know. I'm glad I got here early.
See you waited.
So yeah.
Yeah, no,
so you didn't try again when they rejected you?
it was a process to be rejected. Not until they reject you tomorrow. They reject you, like they string you along before rejecting you.
Oh, you don't get the answer sort
No, I
of.
remember taking a few months.
Months, okay.
I think I even had to go a second time. I think I made it to a second interview.
Okay, well, my first visa I got right up the top.
Was nearly as good looking.
Thank you.
No, man. But I mean, it was understandable. I mean, I was like 21, and I know, like family. I was not like parents, so I did appear to be a flight risk.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was that, and then that's when I met Esmeralda. And then we started Spez.
Okay, wait a minute. Spez is Spencer is SP and as okay, great stuff.
Yeah, I know. Very creative, very creative.
No, it is very creative, just like one drill.
Here you go. That's bad. The other day someone told me there's no Chester House in town.
Oh yeah, Chester House. Yeah, Charlton.
Yeah. Like, oh, of course. That makes sense. Right? So then we started Spez, and the Spez was pretty much started by accident. It's a bit of a stopgap.
Okay.
Because the idea was when she was in varsity, she was at Nairobi University then. She wanted to make some extra cash. I knew the stuff from cooking school and like, cool, we were both in limbo. Yeah, I mean, I'm making it go, you can make it happen. And then
and you were both together at Saints. That was when
yeah, sort of. I was 1 year ahead of her.
Okay.
Yeah. But we obviously were in the same school at the same time, so we knew each other fairly well. Yeah, it was cool, man. So we did well. That was cool. And then Spencer's was great. It was cool, and that's proper school fees there. Running a business, ambition, young, believe you could do anything.
Wow.
That was fun. That was great little chapter of my life.
Okay.
And then I was cooking, and that was now the time. So the plan was see it through.
Yes, and then do something else.
And then there's something else. My mom was like, let's go and see what it's like in another country.
Yes.
Maybe you like it more there. And then the first thing was like, oh my God, it's not the kibaro of working in the kitchen every day. And the interesting thing which I soon learned about my own personality was that the same of it is tough. I struggle with it a lot.
The classroom scenario.
No, this is direct. The thing like going to a restaurant or going to even go to festival. I don't know, it's great. It's your first time there, it's an occasion and you love it and you have a great time. Then you go back and you never go back, so you come back after 3 years. But believe me, test kitchen is open the next day and the day after, and same experience you had is same experience.
It's supposed to be replicated over and over again.
And so consistency is that, but then it just means you're doing the same things over and over, which was but now when you're in a catering company or with a catering company, every day is different.
Okay.
Every experience is different. Sometimes someone wants you to do something in the middle of nowhere. I remember doing a film shoot in Magadi once.
Wow.
On the salt flats.
You have to carry all the ingredients.
Yeah, I mean that's now contract catering. So you're carrying everything. You plan a menu to make it happen.
Wow.
And I mean that was the fun part. Like I was young, I was 22, 23. I don't know, we were lucky enough to get some of those contracts.
Yeah.
I mean not lucky, no, not hard work put in. Not the credit test, but that was really her thing, and she's doing really well at it. And we built these contracts, and now it would be okay, cool, make it happen, and that was so much fun.
Okay.
Like, okay, cool. How are you gonna make it? What do we give guys for breakfast? It's gonna be here. We'll take from Nairobi. It's gonna be cooked 3 days later. How do you make it work? It was brilliant, man. It was good. Great chat.
Yeah.
Great chat.
And it wasn't a factory line.
Not like a bread line. No, it was not a bread line. Not a bread line.
It was nice, bespoke, creativity, the works.
And then it grew like any other business, then you stop cooking as much. It's like more involved in the other stuff, the admin and all that. Then I was a very short stint with the Good Food Company.
Okay. The Good Food Company owns what brands?
They was just called Good Food Company. They did pre-made meals.
Okay.
Meals. That was kind of a offshoot of Spez.
Okay.
Much longer story of that one, but again, it was also just creativity and the challenge with that was how do you manage? The idea was to try and model something where you could make good quality. Actually, it was interesting that controversy in Kenya last year. Those guys who got that startup capital.
I know.
And the idea was to make like
Kibanda.
The Kibanda. Yeah. So it's not exactly the same. It's fairly similar. But one of the things we did at Spez, which was really fun, was back then, this is sort of circa 08, 09. You want to make these pre-made lunches delivered by water. Which, believe it or not, in 08, 09, there weren't that many.
Exactly. I mean, that's like Uber Eats, right? Like.
But even better, then we got people to order on Facebook. Then Facebook was becoming a thing then. We had a lot of regular clients and stuff. So that was one of the things Spez did. Then we moved to a bigger space and wanted to concentrate Spez on catering. And so then the Good Food Company was a partnership with us, some other guys to do something, just to concentrate something similar to that.
You guys were ahead of your time, right?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, yeah. But we were maybe too far ahead of our time, and then it was not scalable. Like now it's scalable.
Well, okay, because now technology makes those things easier. But even to think about, okay, I didn't know 90. Okay, where was I in 90?
90? No, 90.
You said 2009.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 2009.
1990, I was right.
Okay. sorry. 2009, yeah.
Absolutely.
This is Facebook here. Don't worry, I wasn't competent. I was a civil servant, not anymore.
In 1990?
No, in 2000. 1990, I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was busy running that cross country.
You're running away from
that cross country and going to Staré and feeling like I want to go. Right? Okay, no, interesting.
So
Yeah.
So then we rushed off again. So then we came to okay, so then now at that point now you and I were getting very serious. So we got to now start life together. And the more success both of us had in separate countries meant the more difficult it be for us to come together. And then probably the hardest decision I've ever made, what still is, maybe, was to now stop everything there.
Come here full time, because I'm sure you had visited before.
Yeah, visited both.
Oh.
And I liked it. It was nice, yeah. Cape Town, I mean, really lots of times. Cape Town's a great place to visit. There are not many people I've ever met who come here once to visit. It's not incredible. Interesting story.